Ask a prepper here. Don't mind me if I take my face off the camera because I'm driving right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a live stream and I am going to come on live here after a few minutes, but I had to pre-record this portion because I wasn't sure how well, or I'm not sure how well I'll handle it during live. So I have to tell you a story. So earlier this year, probably sometime around May, I think it was around May or so, April, May, Mrs. Ann from the food bank gave me a call just to check up on me and see how I was doing. And I had a short conversation with her. I told her what was going on, that I'm no longer in my old house. And anyways, I told her that I was really sorry because I didn't think that I was going to be able to support the food bank this year. And usually around late May, early June, I would do what's called the bone builder bags, which I didn't do this year because I couldn't. The bone builder bags are bags of protein-rich foods that they hand out to children that were used to getting most of their nutrition during the school day, you know, via their breakfasts that they get there, usually for free if they need to, and their lunch. So I wasn't able to do that this year, and that really bothered me a lot. And anyways, going forward here about, let me just a second. My seat gets really hot. So here about, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago, maybe something like that, I got an email from a very nice lady. And she asked me, she was like, hey, P, are you going to do a turkey drive this year for the food bank? And I replied and I said, no, I'm not going to be able to, not on a personal basis. And, you know, in all honesty, you know, who am I to be asking anyone to try to support my community food bank here in Fairbanks, Alaska, when so many people are going through tough times? So I said, no, I'm not going to do it this year. I can't. And however, if the Lord wills it, then He will. He'll allow me to find a way if He wills it. So anything of it, and then before I continue, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that whenever I pick a partner for this channel, a sponsor, I try to be very picky. Day, even after being off of YouTube for such a long time, I get dozens of emails every day with you know, companies of this and that wanting to showcase their products and pay me to do ads and stuff like that. And it's very rarely that I actually choose one, because it has to be one that I really believe in and one that I really like their product. So anyways, maybe 2 or 3 days after I had that conversation or that email exchange, I get this email from Alpha Omega Gold, from their owner, CEO. And I'm actually pulling into the laundromat right here real quick. I got to pick up some laundry, but I'll stop and then it'll be easier for me to talk to you all. So I get an email from the owner, CEO at Alpha Omega Gold. And first thing I thought was like, I don't really want to take on any more partners or any sponsorships. I just want to get back on YouTube and just, you know, find a little bit of peace with the fellowship that we have together. I mean, within our community, of course. But then, before I deleted that email, I thought, you know, let me just read it. And let me look these guys up. So I looked them up. I looked them up on the Better Business Bureau, you know, and they have a very good rating. You know, they're not a very old company, but then I also went on their page and I noticed that they advertise that they are a faith-based business. And I'm like, you know, let me give this gentleman a call. So I gave him a call and we ended up talking like, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, just talking about life, just talking about everything. And I say, you know what, I feel really good about, you know, taking you on as one of the channel sponsors. I said, but the thing is that, you know, I want to make sure that my channel sponsor, that they take care of our community well, which they have been, by the way. I already got an email from someone saying that they're already talking to them and that they're treating them very well. So I even texted him And I said, thank you very much for taking care of my community member that went to, that called you and is doing business with you. So that's great. So, you know, it came down to the part where I'm like, yeah, I want to take you on as a sponsor. And he said, well, how do we talk about payment? I'm like, you know what? I'm not really a big money guy when it comes to this. I just want to make sure that my community is taken care of. And he said, well, you know, give me a call on Monday and we'll talk about it. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. And I'm sitting there this morning. I think it was a Monday or Tuesday. I'm sitting there on my couch in the morning and I'm like, I'm thinking about the food bank and I'm like, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for Alpha Omega Gold to, instead of paying me, to make a generous donation to the Fairbanks Food Bank. And in addition to that, to send me some physical silver so that I can give to my community members, which I am going to do some of that today here on this live stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and grab this. So as soon as I pick up my laundry here, I'm in front of the laundromat. I'm going to head over to the food bank and I'm going to present Mrs. Ann with a cashier's check for $4,800. Why am I talking about this? AP, charity should be kept to yourselves. No, because ladies and gentlemen, I have to talk about this. Because without you supporting what I do, watching my terrible videos, this wouldn't be possible. So I want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching my videos, for supporting me in any way that you can, because when good people do good things happen. What do you think about that, ladies and gentlemen? 153 turkeys. So we did it once again. How's everyone doing? Thank you very much for joining in. I thought that I'd share that happy moment with you because I think it's awesome. God always provides in one way or another. So thank you for being here. And once again, thank you for all of your support. And what I said on that clip about me giving silver away today, I am going to give silver away during this live stream. But let me tell you why. All right. I figured that since I really can't afford to be handing out like Amazon cards or gifts or something like that, that there are still some people, I'm sure within this community as well, that could probably use a little bit of help, right? And what better way to help you all out by giving away some silver, right? And I just dropped one. Oh, here you go. It fell on my shoe. And my intention is this. My intention is to later on during the live stream that those of you that maybe need a little bit of cash to be able to help to pay for your Thanksgiving dinner, that there's nothing wrong for you to just, I'll give you a code word or a number. You can put a number up, right? If you need it, put it up. Don't let pride get in the way, all right? I can't say that I can choose every single person that needs it, but I can give away at least a good 10, maybe 20 ounces of silver today on this live stream. And I'm going to give it away in increments of 2 ounces each. And my intentions behind that is that 2 ounces of silver right now, if you take that and you cash it in, that's $100. And I know that inflation or the price of things has gone up quite substantially, but I think that $100 will get you a turkey dinner for you and your family. So later on, whenever I ask, who wants to enter for the silver giveaway, I'll give you guys a number to put up, and I'll just pick some random names. I won't even look at them. I'll just pick them. And if I fall on someone with that number, then that person can email me, right? The email address that you need to email me at is at the bottom of the description of this video. So when this video is done, and I think I've got it up here on a banner that I can put it up. So as soon as you see that you're one of the future recipients or winners of the 2 ounces of silver, you send me an email with your name and your address, and I'll try to have it shipped out no later than, if I get everyone's name and address today, by the time that the live stream is over, I'll just go out and do it tomorrow. I have a couple of ounces of silver I have to ship out anyways for one of the winners of the Monday videos. Because for those of you that don't know, my Monday videos is Silver Monday. All right. So my word on the street videos for Mondays, every single Monday from now until the end of this calendar year, I'll be giving away silver. Right. And it may be 2 ounces, it may be 3. I think this last Monday was 3 ounces. All right. So it may be 3, maybe this next Monday it'll be 4. Right. And that was 100% my intention behind asking the CEO/owner of Alpha Omega Gold to send me silver so that I can give it away to you. But if you need it, when you get it, you go cash that in and you go buy yourselves and your families a turkey dinner, because every single American that wants to celebrate Thanksgiving ought to be able to celebrate Thanksgiving in the traditional way that I've known of it all my life. Right. And that's getting a big old turkey, right? Roasting it and having all of the sides that go with it, and just getting together with friends and family and sharing that time and giving thanks for what you have. So there is one thing that I do ask of you, though, is that I want to give a shout out to a few of my channel sponsors that have some really good sales going out during this video. So if you'd be so kind to support those sponsors that support me in an attempt to try to help you out and support you, I'd really appreciate it, because it's very important that we take care of each other. So let me go ahead and say hello to a few of you. And I actually have some news to go over, but I don't want to go over the news right now. We can save that for tomorrow's the Word on the Street video. All right. And I do appreciate every one of you that come to my videos in the morning and check those out. I do have a video recorded on a really, really cool little product that I actually purchased from Amazon that I've seen before, but I've never really had a need for it. But now I do, right? Now I do, that I live in an apartment. So I went ahead and got it, and I did a short test of it, and did a video with it. And I still have to edit it and everything and put it up. And I'll tell you what, this, in my opinion, is a game changer for anyone that lives in a small home or in an apartment. Really a game changer. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. I'll keep you in suspense. Let me say hi to a few of you. And isn't that cool? Isn't that cool how that happens? 153 turkeys, ladies and gentlemen. I'll remember that number for a really long time. Everything worked out this year for the turkeys. So I know I seen Brent there. How you doing, Brent? Good to see you, my friend. I owe you a phone call, Brent. All right. I owe you a phone call. I'll give you my word. You'll be getting that from me. Let's see. Who do we have here? We have Lafferty. How you doing? 153 turkeys. Hey, Bonnie. How you doing, Bonnie? Good to see you. Yep. She already ordered the turkeys, by the way. By the time I got home, she had texted me and said, hey, I already ordered the turkeys. We were able to get 153, which is such a blessing, because the Fairbanks Food Bank is still about, well, before this 153 turkeys, they were still about 1,200 turkeys shy for their goal. It seems that every year the need rises or raises just a little bit. But I believe that they're going to make it this year, because now they only need 1,047 turkeys, but they're doing several different fund drives for turkeys here in the next 4 or 5 days. So they always make it. It seems like they always make it right on time. So hopefully they will this year as well. I really hope they do. A9, how you doing? Sheila, nice to see you. Colorado Pack Rat Prepper, how you doing? Let's see. Melanie, how you doing, Melanie? Kathy. And by the way, for those of you that maybe didn't watch my Tuesday video, I gave away some silver on that. Let me see. Today's Wednesday, right? My Tuesday video, I gave away some silver on that. So go check that out. Make sure that you're not one of the winners, because I'm missing one winner. Right? I keep a let me take a look real quick to make sure that I know exactly what I'm talking about. The 17th. Or that was Monday. Okay. So go watch my Monday video and make sure that you're not one of the winners. And I also gave away some silver on Tuesday for the rethinking the dollar video that I did. I also gave some away there as well. So go check those out. Make sure that you're not one of the winners, because if you are, you have till Sunday to claim it. If not, I'll just roll it over. All right. But let's see, who else do we have in the house? Potato Head is in the house. So pretty much, we can really talk about whatever you want to talk about. I can pick some gloom and doom stuff if you want, but we can talk about whatever you all want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter what it is. Just if you do have a question, or if you have this a recommendation on what you would like to talk about during this live stream, I'll go ahead and put it in all caps. Okay. Let's see. Who else do we have here? IYQ2. Oh, that's really sad. Sorry to hear that, IYQ2. That's 100% right. 100% right. Let me see. Heart. I'll just call you Heart. Patricia, how are you doing? David Jones, good to see you. Amen to that. Every day is a gift. Let me see. Wanda, all the way from Southeast Kansas. Man, that's a really good deal. $40 for a turkey. Is that including the whole turkey as well? Good deal. Good deal. They did a good job this year getting those turkeys ready, huh? I did a terrible thing yesterday. I started watching a video on how turkeys go from the egg to the table, and I had to stop it halfway through. It's just a reality of life. I understand that, but I still had to stop it halfway through. I didn't finish it all. Let's see. Hey, thank you, Potato Head. Thank you for that. That's awesome. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, Melanie. I hope that your daughter has a fast recovery and full recovery as well. You made it to the live. Yes, let's do this live. Can anyone tell me who that was? Long time ago. We're gonna do it live. I'm not gonna say the expletives. I won't say that. We'll do it live. Stop it. We're gonna do it live. Let's see. That's all good, because I'm going to spend this Thanksgiving with Lulu. So I might have a live stream on that day just so we can hang out. All right. That way us stragglers can hang out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy me, or I already have some steaks in the freezer that I cut up a while back. I'll probably cook a couple of steaks and have Lulu dine with me and have a nice big steak. She'll really enjoy that. The only problem is that she'll probably eat it in about 1 minute. The redneck prepper is in the house. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Well, I hope that you're still canning, Marin. I hope that you're still canning. That's awesome. I have to start up on that again. Linda's born. How you doing? Good to see you. Linda Bob, Lulu is doing great. I actually just gave her a treat that should take her about an hour to dig out of one. They have these little cages that you put a treat in, and then they have to try to get it out. And it usually takes her about between 30 minutes, depending to an hour, depending on how tight I tighten it. So she's over there on the couch consumed with that right now. All the way from Oklahoma, El Vote. Good to see you here. Good to see everyone here. Let's see. How do you get out of the real ID driver's license? I tried. Well, you know, I haven't gotten one of those yet. But then again, my driver's license doesn't expire till 2026. So I'm going to have to see what happens. I'm not sure if there's going to be any getting away from it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I think that the biggest thing that we have to think about is really the digital ID, right? Because when you think about it, the real ID driver's license, first of all, no one can really convince me otherwise. But the government already has all the information on every one of us that it wants or needs for whatever. They've already got all that information, right? But the thing with the digital ID is that that is a prerequisite to a digital wallet. You really can't have a digital wallet that's being used nationwide, right? Because right now we've got digital wallets. We've got like, I think it's called Venmo and Cash App, because I hear those two all the time, Venmo and Cash App. That's like a digital wallet, you know, but it's not tied to your digital ID because we don't have a digital ID yet. So with a digital ID, I believe it's the prerequisite in order for them to move on to tying it to a digital wallet, right? So that they can track 100% of everything in one spot, just in one shot. So the digital ID, I think it's a big deal. I don't think we should have allowed it, right? I mean, not the digital ID, the real ID. The real ID, I think it's a big deal. I don't think we should have allowed it. But in my opinion, the digital wallet and the digital ID, those are the two things. However, I don't think we're going to get away from it, ladies and gentlemen. And let me just give you some numbers. Right now in the U.S., I think everyone in the U.S. already knows about how many people are on SNAP entitlements, right? Because it's been talked about so often for the last month and a half or so. We have roughly 42 million people on SNAP entitlements. Okay, we have X number of million people on Section 8. You know, so many people on government jobs. I mean, you saw what a disturbance it caused for the government to be quote unquote shut down for a month and a half or so, for 41 or 42 days, whatever it was, right? So we already know that there is a very large percentage of the people within the United States, not to include those peoples that are here unlawfully, that are pretty much reliant on government. And I talked about this on one of my previous videos. I'm reliant on government also. I receive what do you call it? Disability benefits, right? I'm relying on that too. I rely on that money. You know, if it wasn't for that money coming in, man, I'd still have to be out there hustling. I'd have to be out there hustling every day. You know, so I'm not saying it lightly that there's so many people relying on government. You know, thankfully, I'm in a position where I still have a good amount of food. I have a little bit of savings, you know, and I can push through for several months if I have to, right? I can still push through. But a lot of people in the U.S., a very large percentage, I would say, I would venture to guess at least a good 30%. Right? We got 42 million on SNAP, right? That's 42 million. And then we probably have altogether, I'm talking about the people that are directly employed by government, and then the ones that are not directly employed, like contractors and such. It comes out to about 30 million people that work for the government directly and indirectly. So that's roughly 70 to 80 million people that are dependent on some part of their livelihood from government. So when the next crisis comes about, whatever it may be, I've been hearing some crazy stuff, crazy predictions, even predictions that AI came out with that said, hey, this is probably what's going to happen. And, you know, maybe we'll talk about that in a future video, because if you are prepared, you should be able to make it through any crisis. All right. So if you are prepared, but if you can pinpoint a thing that you want to prepare for, then that's something that you can concentrate on. Like one of the things that I like to pinpoint that I want to prepare for here in Alaska is how am I going to provide heat for my apartment / house in case we lose electricity, And in case there's, all of my alternative healing measures have been exhausted, what will I do next? That's always what I'm asking myself. What will I do next? So, but like I said, all they have to do is bring about the next big crisis. And then most of the people that unfortunately are able to vote, because, we can get into that discussion also, to where a lot of people shouldn't be able to vote, because you take a look at some of these YouTube videos of people asking college students and adults that are already out of college and working and everything, asking them simple questions about our country, about our Constitution, about liberty, about freedom, who know nothing about it. But anyways, I digress on that portion of my answer. A lot of these people that are dependent on government, they are going to vote for whatever government tells them to vote for. They say, hey, I'm going to look at New York City. Okay, I'm sorry if you live in New York, don't take offense, but a fact is a fact. Look at New York City. You got a guy who stood up there and said, I'm going to give you everything. It's all going to be free. It's all going to be free. And the people that voted for him believed him that it's going to be free. It's not going to be free. It's going to come at an expense, either your liberty or your standard of living, one or the other, or both. Okay, it's going to come at an expense. But most people nowadays that are dependent, they're in a position where they do not understand what this country was founded on, and they're going to vote for whatever makes their life easier. It's human nature, right? It's human nature. And, I don't like to blame everyone that is in that position 100%, because ignorance can be self-induced, or ignorance can be taught or not taught, right? Look at what our schools are teaching our kids. They're not teaching them what our founding fathers' interpretation was of what this country should be. They're not teaching them about what real inflation is. They're not teaching them how to balance a checkbook anymore. They're not even teaching them how to write in script, right? So, if you grow up in a household where they tell you that this is a shoe, if you grew up as a child, or if you went through the school system and they told you, hey, this cup is a shoe, this is a shoe, you would argue with someone. You would have an argument with someone. And when I came up to you and said, hey, this is a cup, this is not a shoe, you would argue with me saying, no, this is a cup. No, this is a shoe, right? Because that's what you've been taught all your lives. So you take a child from K to 12, and then you put them through university, they're going to argue with you even though they're wrong, because that's what they've been taught. They think they're right. So I believe that it's inevitable that we will eventually have a digital ID and a digital wallet. And it will take years for the people to actually wake up and finally see that, well, they're going to ask themselves, what in the world did I do? What did I sign up for? And it will take a long time for the people, we the people, to finally come together and understand that we're on the same side. Because we're not going to win this battle. This is a battle of good versus evil. And we're not going to win it with sides battling each other. We're going to win it when we come together and we finally realize and identify who the real evil is. And then spring will start. By then, winter will finally be over and we will start into a new spring. But between now and then, there will be suffering. There will be a lot of challenges. There will be many more crises. There's going to be crises after crises after crises, some worse than others. Sometimes I believe that these crises come up on purpose in order for the powers that be to hide what they're actually doing in the background. So during this snap thing, I'm looking around and I'm like, what is really going on in the background? What are they doing? What are they hiding in the background? Well, that Genesis thing was one of the things, right? That Genesis bill that gave a lot of the big banks the ability to tokenize assets. And I talked about that on one of my previous videos for a short clip. But what that's going to do for the banks is it's going to give the government another avenue in which to park dollars. So they're going to be able to print more dollars. And instead of those dollars finding themselves into the economy and making the price of things go up, those tokenizations of assets is going to get, in addition to the cryptos that the government, like Tether, like that USDC, I think it's called. It's a crypto, but that it's backed dollar by dollar, dollar to dollar, one to one. Those are going to give an avenue for dollars to be parked in, so that the government can continue to print more out of thin air and spend more than what they take in, and so that inflation in the price of things won't show up immediately until those assets are actually spent into the economy. But what I think that they're hoping for is that once those assets, that USD coin and the tokenization, once those have a whole bunch of dollars in them and it's starting to get overbought, right? It's starting to get inflated or in a bubble, that they'll be able to have us into this digital ID and digital currency. So this is a very slow moving train, okay? And in a way, it's a good thing, because in my opinion, it's going to happen no matter what. It really is. That's why I'm here saying get prepared, because it's going to happen no matter what. It's just that it's not going to happen immediately. And that's, that's planned. It's planned that way, because the slower that you do something, the less that people realize that something is happening. And of course, everyone knows that as the frog in boiling water, right? So, we just have to continue to prepare, continue to live your life, because anything can happen tomorrow. But continue to stay prepared and continue to talk to your friends, continue to save your excess wealth and, in a tangible item that you can liquidate quickly. Continue to do all of the right things like that, and make sure that you meet your neighbors, right? And in the end, I think that we're going to be in a much better place, but it's going to be a little bit of a long road before we get there. For those of you that may be new here, let me tell you that if you ask me a question that takes the normal person 30 seconds to answer, you better go get some coffee, okay? And I apologize. I set this thing to put out an ad like every 30 minutes because that's the longest that it will allow me. But the thing is that if I don't pick that, then YouTube won't notify people and they won't send this live stream or even video out once it's done to anyone, right? Like I tested that here a few videos ago. I didn't monetize it at all. It got sent out to almost no one. It got maybe like 10% of the average amount of views that it would normally get. Okay, so that's why we do that. What do I think about copper? Well, copper, it was one of the metals in addition to silver that was added to the critical metals list. And I think copper, last I saw, was like around $5 or so. I think that if you're going to get into the stock market, like if you want to collect pennies, that's great. That's fine. Collect your copper pennies. They're obviously worth a lot more than one penny. If not, they wouldn't have stopped making them, right? That's another sign that this fiat currency system is coming toward an end. Is because when the government can't even pay to mint money because it costs more than what they're actually minting, then there's something wrong, right? Well, we've all known that there's been something wrong for a long time. Yeah, collect your copper pennies and stuff like that. Me, if I was a betting man, I do have a few very small, not even a few, just a couple, like a couple very small stocks that I'm invested in that are mining stocks, but it's like really nothing. I mean, they've almost tripled in price since I bought them, but I didn't buy a lot of them. I just bought them to play around, to put a couple $1,000 in there, and that's about it. All right, but yeah, if I was messing with copper, I'd probably just go ahead and see about getting into a copper mine, because I mean, if copper's at like $5 a pound right now, and let's say that you just trade copper on the market, what's the likelihood of copper hitting $50 a pound so you can have a 10 bagger, or $100 a pound so that you can have a 20 bagger? But the likelihood of a copper mining stock doing a 10 or 20 bagger or even more is a lot higher. So if you just want to do it to speculate, then yeah, absolutely, go ahead and do that. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say that. But the reason I'm saying that is because there's nothing wrong with speculating. I don't like the stock market very much because it's it's a zero-sum game, meaning that if you make gains, it's because somebody else lost. And I know that a lot of the money in the stock market was derived from pension funds, from teachers, police, whatever pension funds are out there. A lot of them are invested in the stock market, and a lot of them, even though the stock market is doing really good or has been doing really good nominal wise, a lot of them still lose money, and they hurt the people that they're investing for. And a lot of these people that have their pension funds in the stock market, a lot of them don't really have too much of a say where it's vested in. So I really don't like the stock market very much. And that's one of the reasons why I got into a couple of small mining companies, because I don't think there's very many pension funds out there investing in mining companies, right? But if you want to speculate in the market and make some of that fiat currency and then take some of that fiat currency, don't get greedy and take some of it out, take some profits out, and then go turn it into something real, go turn it into preps, or go turn it into a wealth preservation tool like gold and silver. Man, I think that's great. If you have the talent to do that, go ahead and do it. Something to chew on. Hello. Timothy, how you doing? John Schroeder, how you doing? Good to see you here. Thank you very much. Passionate Herbs is in the house. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. If you guys just got here now, watch the beginning of the video because it's a really happy 7 minutes. For me, it was, at least. US Freedom 5 says more tasting videos. I actually have a few things up in the cupboard that I'm like, yeah, I should try this. Actually, I have some butter. The red feather butter in a can? I've got some of that that's like over 10 years old now. And then I've got a couple other things that I like to open up, just to see what it's like. So maybe I'll do one of those here later on. Yes, I'm working on that. I'm working on filling a little bit of that up. It takes time, though, ladies and gentlemen. It takes time. I don't really have much of my stuff. Let's see. I'm trying to do December. Really? Your birthday's December 5th. Okay, well, happy birthday. Hopefully I can remember that. December 5th this year is on a Friday. So it'll be a Friday. Hey, Chicken Shoes, how you doing? Good to see you. Chicken Shoes has been watching this channel since I was doing waxing videos. That was years ago. No, I don't have any of those pieces of cheese left. Cheese waxing videos. I don't have any of those left. Those were all eaten. Okay, let's see. How far behind am I? Oh, I'm not that far behind. I'm surprised. Yes, Bonnie, a passport is good enough. A passport, I think that if you have a military ID, that's good enough as well, instead of the real ID. Wow, isn't that something? Isn't that something to not be given an option on whether you want to get a real ID or not? Well, yeah, I mean, we're still the freest nation in the world. I mean, what nation out there really has freedom of speech? What Western nation has freedom of speech? I mean, unfortunately for the UK, they're really suffering over there. I think it's last year a little less than 10,000, 9,000 and change people were arrested just for posting opinions and criticisms on social media. So that's a terrible thing. Okay. All right, let's see. Really, you even have to pay extra for the real ID? Amazing. Well, I will believe it when I see it. All right. I will believe that those files and all of the names and everything are released to the public when I see it. From what I understand, it's not due to be released until the end of this year. I think it's 30 December or something like that. So when I see it, and when I see handcuffs, and when I see people in orange suits being perp walk, all right, then I'll believe it. But until then, I won't. I honestly feel that there's probably a good reason why it hasn't been released. So let me just tell you what I think. This is a conspiracy theory, even though I'm not conspiring with anyone. It's just what I think personally. I think that there are so many names on that list. Lulu's over there growling, trying to get my attention. I think there's so many names on that list that should they release it right now, that there would be a constitutional crisis tomorrow. Okay, that's what I think. All right, I could be 100% wrong. And I think that they're using this time to maybe get everything in order. And you know what? In a way, I was going to say that I hope that's what it is, but I don't, because I don't want the people that are currently representing us in Congress or the Senate to be that dirty. But I just think that they are. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, I'll believe it when I see it. That is the most asinine thing that I've ever heard, that anyone, any country is trying to capture carbon out of the atmosphere. It is so ridiculous. And that's what I mean by look at what our educational system has done. It's so simple to just look it up. I mean, even in Congress, they even had a congressional hearing here not that long ago, where the congressman was educating the people who were advocating for the reduction of carbon. And he asked them, he said, how much carbon is in the atmosphere? And every single one of them was wrong. One of them said 5%. One of them said 7%. One of them said 10%. And there was 4 of them. I think the 4th one was a lady. I think she said 5% as well. Something like that. It's not even 1%. It's not even a 0.5%. It's not even a 0.20%. It's 0.04 of 1%. So 4/100th of 1% is what constitutes the percentage of CO2 in our atmosphere. And out of that 0.04%, only 3% is attributed by mankind, which means that if you take 3% and multiply it times 0.04, it comes out to 0.00012. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what humankind has attributed to as far as the percentage of CO2 in the atmosphere. And how is it that a layman like myself, someone who's not really that educated, I have an associate's degree in general education, ladies and gentlemen, so I went to high school for 2 extra years. How is it that I can find that information? How is it that I can look for ice core information as to what the temperature of the earth was 1 million years ago, 400 million years ago, 400,000 years ago? How is it that I can do that, but these people who are supposed to be experts can't do that? I know how it is that they can't do that, or this is my opinion, because when you have facts in one hand, but you have millions and millions and millions of dollars in the other hand, I think that you'll probably go with the millions of dollars in the other hand instead of sharing the facts, because there are people like that. And unfortunately, a lot of those people are representing us and or are advising those people that represent us or supposed to be represent us. So capturing CO2 from the atmosphere is asinine. Right now, the atmosphere, the ppm of CO2 in the atmosphere is about 400 and something, 440, let's say, right? The optimal percentage or the optimal ppm of CO2 in the atmosphere for vegetation growth is about 1,000 ppm. It's 900 to 1,000. So we're only at about half of what we need in order to be able to grow produce and grow vegetation really, really well, which will really help humanity. Look at how many countries are starving. How many countries around the world have people that are just starving, literally starving? Go to the World Food Program webpage and they'll tell you. You know, there are some areas in the world where they have to take food from them because they're hungry. They're hungry. They're not starving. So they have to take food away from them to give it to other parts of the world where they are actually starving to death, to keep them from starving to death. But here we are saying, yeah, let's go ahead and take CO2 out of the atmosphere, the number one thing besides photosynthesis, you know, from the sun that plants need in order to, you know, to grow. So, but dark days ahead. Well, hey, there you go. Lulu, stop it. Stop it. Come here. Come here. There you go. Go on. Go down there. Don't eat that silver coin. Well, there you go. Isn't that the way it works? It's socialism works really great until you run out of other people's money. That's how it works, huh? There you go. Lulu, do you want to come up here? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come up here. You want to say hello? Come on. Say hello. Say hi. Look. Say hi. You want to say hello? Say hello. Oh, no, she's naked. You're naked, Lulu. Where's your collar? Go on. Go. Go on. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring it down quickly. Let's see. Who is this? NY Savannah. NY Savannah. Hello. Let's see. AP. About 2 years ago, I took your advice about prepping AC window unit for cooling. I live in Florida, and we lose power to hurricanes. Left unit in the garage. Central air broke, and I survived. And that's what prepping's about. Awesome. Well, I'm glad. And it's I like to call it a cold room, right? That way you can, if you lose power, and either with heating or with cooling, you can pick one room where you can put that AC unit in, and you can at least have a cool room. Or if you live in a small enough home, you know, it's enough for you to have power. Oh, really? Isn't that something? You know, I don't doubt it. This economic system, this financial system is almost done. It's going to happen in our lifetimes, and I think it's going to happen a lot sooner than later. So, you know, just stay prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Get those things that you know you need in order to preserve life. You need water, you need food, all that kind of stuff, right? You need energy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how much good this does, but give it that thumbs up. I have no idea how many thumbs up there are at any given time. And for those of you that were here during the beginning, I'll go ahead and play my intro video towards the end of at the end of this video as well. I'll do it as an outro, right? Yeah, I'll tell you what, the people down in Mexico, they've had enough. They have had enough. I talked about that on my last Word on the Street video. I know I didn't put one out this morning because I had to go do something. But yeah, they've had enough. And that's what it looks like. People are eventually going to have enough. There's only so much that you can take away from someone before they said, hey, that's it. We can't take it anymore. Okay, bringing it down. Did they really, excuse me, did they really make a 24 karat penny, gold penny? That's awesome. I wouldn't mind buying one of those. But I have a feeling that since they only made 232, it's probably going to be a pretty penny. What time is it? Oh, man. Wow, it's already 50 minutes. Goodness gracious. For those of you... oh, yeah, look at that. I saw the word spam and I had to stop. Yeah, I love spam. Right now, I'm working on a case of spam that's the best buy date was 2019. Nothing wrong with it, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing wrong with it at all. And guess what? Michael Man likes to spam also. For those of you that maybe just joined in within the last few minutes, I'm going to be giving away. Let me see if I can reach this silver coin, that one that I dropped. So today I'm going to be giving away some silver. All right, I'm going to be giving away 2 ounces of silver buffaloes, and I'm going to do at least. Man, 10 is just a lot. It's so much work, you know. It's a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen, doing these giveaways. You know, even just one. You know, maybe I'll do 5 today, and then I'll do 5 during my next live stream. What do you all think about that? You think that's pretty fair? But instead of doing 5 2-ounces, I'll do 5 3-ounces. We'll give away 3 ounces of silver to 5 of you. And my intentions for that silver is that if you really need some money because you need help buying a Thanksgiving dinner, that whoever wins today can email me to my email right away, you know, before the live stream is even over, with your information, with your name and your address. And tomorrow I'll go ship all of those out, and hopefully you'll have it by Monday or Tuesday, giving you enough time to go to a coin shop if you have to cash it in, and buy your family a turkey dinner. All right, that's my intention behind it. So I am going to, man, you know what? I don't care if it's going to be over an hour. If you guys want to hang out, I'm going to take my time. Okay, I don't want to be rushing it. Excuse me. Let me getting kind of warm. If you all hear Lulu growling here now and then, it's because every time she hears someone walking around upstairs, you know, my son-in-law, my grandson or my daughter-in-law, she thinks it's someone trying to break in, right? So so don't mind her. That's my point. If they release that list right now, there won't be anyone left in government, right? And you know, I saw a list of a whole bunch of congressmen and congresswomen from both the floor and the Senate that are either retiring at the end of this year or that are not seeking to be reelected. I mean, it was a lot of them. It was like 50 something of them. So for those of you that vote, make sure you make your votes count, because even though both wings are pre-rotten, you know, one wing is a little bit, you know, more crooked than the other, I guess you can say. You know, I'm surprised that bird that those 2 wings are on isn't really going around in a circle, because one of the wings is definitely a lot more crooked. But let's not get into that kind of stuff. That's not what it's about. You know, I heard some good news, and I hope that it's right, but I did hear that they're seizing the carbon tax in Canada, or at least on food or something. But I read or heard something like that not too long ago. I hope that that's true, because I'll tell you what, that carbon tax that they implemented on the Canadian citizens, that is just, well, it's a redistribution of wealth, number one. They had to be able to take care of all of those people that they brought in from third world countries. All right, that's number one, and that's just what it is. All right, for good or bad, they had to take care of them. So they ended up redistributing wealth by creating that carbon tax, and it's also a way to eliminate the middle class. Because I've read dozens of stories that are just terrible, where people were having to give up their homes because they couldn't afford their electric bill. They could afford their mortgage, but they couldn't afford their electric bill. So I hope that what I heard is correct and that they're eliminating that. I think that'll be a really good thing for the people, and they definitely don't deserve to be taxed on every single thing that they do every second of the day. And that's pretty much what a carbon tax is. No way. Stop that. It's $3.69 to produce a penny. Maybe it's 3.69 cents. Okay. Yeah, it's 3.69 cents to produce a penny. I was gonna say, man, we're a lot worse than what I thought. Yeah, I think that's awesome if you homeschool. I think if you homeschool, that's great. If you have the aptitude for that and your kids are good with it, that's great. Yeah, I mean, plants do love CO2. I mean, they need CO2. And you have farmers or gardeners. They're really farmers, but they just have giant greenhouses. What do you think they put in the greenhouses? They put CO2 in the greenhouses to make the plants and their fruits or produce grow faster and bigger. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to hurry. I'm not going to rush, okay? I mean, hopefully you guys have a coffee, but I just hate to try to stick to an hour. And today is a little bit more special. So, just hang out. And those of you that really need, the silver so that you can cash it in and get yourselves, a good turkey dinner. Man, I really hope that, some of you that really need to get it. Just hang out and stick around, and we'll get to it here in a minute. But I really don't want to be rushing through the chats because, it's been a while since we got together. I know we did a live stream just a few days ago, but what I mean about by it's been a while is that, I was offline for a little bit. So I want to spend a little bit of time with you all here. Let's see, where's Lulu? Oh, Lulu. Every time I get up from the couch, usually when I'm on the couch, she's right next to me. She's either right next to me or she'll lay on my lap. And every time that I get off the couch, she'll sit on my spot. She'll lay down on my spot. So she's on my spot right now. All right. Look at that, Lulu. Everyone's saying hello to you. I'm about 7 minutes away. You're all saying hello to okay. Hello, Sue from Oklahoma. The thing you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times when these politicians get elected into office is that they get swallowed by the beast. That's what happens. A lot of these people, they actually go in there with very good intentions. With very good intentions. They love their country. They want to make a change that's meaningful. But a lot of them, they just get swallowed up by the beast. And I think it has a lot to do with their past, right? Because if they have a past that's maybe questionable, then that's it. They're going to be owned, right? There's not that many of them, that can stand on their own and say, no, I don't care. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. I'm doing this for my constituents, and I don't care what you do. There's very few that are like that. There are some of them that are like that, which is great, but there's very few of them. There's not enough. Let's see. Observer, did you know that the entire human population on Earth could fit within a 1,500-mile cube? Yes, absolutely. 1,500-mile cube. I did a video a really long time ago, probably when I first started my channel, maybe like 1 year into it, where I actually did the math. And everyone in the world can fit in the state of Rhode Island. So when they tell you that we don't have enough room, that's just propaganda. We've got plenty of room in this world, and we've got plenty of room to grow. And do we have the resources? I believe we do, because we live in a closed environment. So everything that in order to make something, you have to destroy something. But in order to make something again, you can always make something with something that you had destroyed before. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. But we live in a closed ecosystem, and with the technology that we have now, I believe that we can probably double the population on Earth and still be fine. We really are. I mean, people talk about, oh, cars are such big pollutants. Yes, they are pollutants. They put dust particles and carbon particles and stuff like that in the streets, and it gets down the drains, and it goes to the ocean and stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, these are all problems that we could solve. We could easily solve the pollution problem. We can easily fund the problem of pollution and clean everything up where everything is pristine. We can easily have infrastructure. And I'm not talking about just here in the US, but all over the world. We can easily have infrastructure that is new, and that is serviceable. But instead, as nations, we instead decide to go to wars. We decide to have wars. We decide, the powers that be decide that power is more important than taking care of the people that put them into that power position. So humanity, as far as a civilization, I believe that humanity still has a very long way to go. Yeah, we can take care of all of that stuff. It's just that we decide. It's like, let's say that you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? But you go to McDonald's every day. Well, if you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, stop doing that. Maybe if you stop going to McDonald's every day or Starbucks every day or eating lunch out every day, maybe if you stop doing that and packed a sandwich and brown bagged it, then maybe in a year you could save all that money and invest it in something, or maybe start a business with it or whatever. And you can change your life that way, right? But if you decide to spend the money that you already have and spend it and pretty much throw it away on something that's going to make you sick anyways, if you decide to do that, then you're not going to get ahead, because you're deciding to do something that's counterproductive instead of doing something that would actually benefit you in the long run. Delayed gratification. So it's kind of like the same thing with the way that governments treat our money, is that instead of using it for the right things, they instead use it to go to war. And that's what it is. Our world has been, what do you call it? Has been scattered with war all over the world. I mean, all over the world for the last 100+ years, and the last 100+ years has been worse than I believe in the last 500 years because of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve allows governments to do things that they otherwise could not do without it, because the Federal Reserve creates money, i.e. fiat currency, but everyone knows it as money. They create money out of thin air, which devalues your dollars, and it therefore allows the governments to use that money that it stole from you, really, to go to wars and to do things that it's not supposed to be doing instead of taking care of its people. And what I mean about taking care of its people is using the money that it takes from you via taxes for good instead of something else. Okay, all right. I don't see anything in all caps. Yeah, I have lost a lot of weight, ladies and gentlemen. I pretty much only eat protein and fat. So that's all I eat. I may be average on regular less than 10 grams of carbs a day is what I average. And I really don't cheat. I give myself a cheat day once a month, and usually even on a cheat day, I'll have like maybe 20 grams of carbs. Every once in a while. I think I've done it twice in the last year where I just binged on sugar. Like the last time I did that was probably, I don't know, about a month ago or so. And I ate some of these little organic bites that they sell at Costco. I get them because Michael likes them for a snack. Well, one night I was like, you know what? Today's my cheat night. I had like 5 or 6 of those little bites, which isn't really a lot, they're like 120 calories each. So it's like 600 calories, but they're mostly sugar, but the great news is that about 2 hours after I ate those, and I didn't feel good after I ate those either. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten this. I feel like crap now, But like a couple of hours after I ate those, I went and tested my blood sugar, and it was like 101, which is really great. So after eating all that sugar, 2 hours later, my glucose level was like 101, which is good, But I've been averaging, like on a regular day, like today, I haven't taken my glucose reading today because I don't do it every day, because it's pretty much always the same. It's always between like 70 and 90 something. It depends what time of the day I do it in. So I'm averaging in the normal range as far as blood glucose goes. But my A1C is still a little bit high. It's like 6.3 the last time I went, but it's been coming down gradually. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I try to get my steps in every day. I tried going to the gym and working out, but man, it's my shoulders and my feet and my knees are just too jacked up. I can barely even do a push-up, But I'm looking into getting a treadmill so that I can at least, do some walking indoors during the winter time. But just doing what I can, ladies and gentlemen. And really, having steak and having, so I eat steak, Spam, of course. I maybe have Spam like every 2 weeks, every 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get a can of Spam out. So steak, Spam, chicken, I do eat pork ribs every once in a while, cheese, sour cream, all that kind of stuff. In addition to a few diabetic friendly things that I found on Amazon, like those noodles that have zero carbs, or they have like maybe 0.6 grams of one carb for an entire serving. They're made out of some kind of a mushroom or a fungi, and they taste just like regular noodles. So there's a few things like that that really give me a little bit of normalcy as far as eating some of the things that I used to like to eat, like pasta and stuff like that. They even make a tortilla that only has like 2 grams of carbs for a tortilla, which is really good. So I have some of those, not every day, but once in a while. But yeah, I just average about, I would say less than 10 grams of carbs a day. Like today, if I were to count the number of carbs I've had today, I've had 2 grams all day long. So, and it's 5 o'clock in the evening. And after I get off of here with you all, I'm going to eat me a piece of steak. And then that'll be it for the day. I don't know what those are. Flock cameras. I don't know what flock cameras are. All right, let me take a look real quick, see what I have. Edit. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Where is this? There it is. Okay. I'm going to go like that. I'm setting up to do at least one giveaway right now. Okay, save. Okay, so let's go ahead and give away at least 2 rounds of silver. Now, this is for 3 ounces, okay? 3 ounces of silver. Now, go ahead and put the number 3. If you want to enter to win 3 ounces of silver, put the number 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a random number 3, and that's going to be the winner. We'll do 2 right now if you like. We'll do 2 and it's going to be 5 altogether. So we'll do 2 for 3 ounces each. And then after that, I have to give a shout out to a couple of my sponsors that asked me to shout them out because they're having Black Friday sales. So hang through that with me, ladies and gentlemen, because what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little window shopping. If you're not in the market to get any of this stuff, that's fine. But it'll just be a little bit of window shopping. And I'll be talking to you about it for a little bit here live as I go through it, all right? Because all of these things that I'm going to show you are things that I really, really like, things that I have, and things that I actually recommend. All right, so let me get my piece of paper ready right here so I can write it down. Give me a second. Let's put that right there. And the silver is going to be 3 of these. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, whoever wins, if you need to cash this in, don't feel bad. Cash it in. That's what it's for. I was talking to the CEO of Omega Gold, and I told him what I was going to do. And he says, hey, you know what? That's a great idea. That's what real money is for, so that you can get something that you need if you need it and you have it. So that's what it's for. That's my intentions. I want to make sure that if you need a turkey dinner, that you can go get one. So I got my pen here, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm just, you know what? I'm going to, yeah, I am too. I am as well, because it's nasty. They're supposed to be there to take care of their constituents and look out for us, not for that kind of stuff. What I'm going to do is I am going to stop on the very first number 3 that I see, the very first one. That's going to be our first winner. Okay. So let's see who I'm, now I got to make sure I really look, because if I don't pick the very first number 3, someone's going to be like, hey, I was the first number 3. Oh, I'm not that far behind. I'm only like 8 minutes behind. So, but still, I'm going to be careful, ladies and gentlemen. So let us know. Go ahead and converse amongst yourselves on here. Are any of you traveling for Thanksgiving this year? Because from what I understand, it's going to take a while for the airlines to get their stuff back together. To get their stuff straightened out after the shenanigans that they were pulling during the shutdowns. Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Some people don't like to go to work and not get paid. I wonder why. Hey, that's great. What I always say is that do the best that you can for your community. If you're able to do something, to donate, to give, whatever, make sure that you take care of your community first. Make sure that you take care of your community first. I'm never going to stand here and ask you, hey, donate to my community food bank. I can't do it. I know in the past I've had raffles and giveaways and stuff like that to raise some money for it, but that's kind of different. You're kind of getting something in return. But I just can't do that because I think probably every community in the U.S. is probably in need right now, even those that seem like they may be well off. So, yeah, donate to your community if you can. And if you can't, that's okay. If you're a person that has to receive, there's nothing wrong with that. It was this channel that taught me, and it was years ago that I think it might have been Jan that said something about that. In order to be a good river, let me start over. In order to be a good giver, you have to learn to be a good receiver. So there's nothing wrong with receiving when you're in need, right? Okay, I'm looking for my first number 3. Someone put here, I do physical therapy 3 times a week, but that's not the 3 I'm looking for. Someone says there, I love spaghetti sauce. You know what? The spaghetti sauce is not that bad. I actually have spaghetti sauce that I intend on using. If you don't have 2 cups of spaghetti sauce on top of a pound of pasta, it's not that bad. And when you've gone without for so long, just a little bit, like a serving of a half of a cup of spaghetti sauce, the one that I get from Costco, is like 4 grams of carbs. That's not bad for a cheat day. Oh man, I'll tell you what, baby Root, how you doing? I'll tell you what, I hate the elliptical. I hate it. I'd rather stand on a treadmill and just walk than do the elliptical. I cannot. Plus my feet, stationary, they're pretty bad. And having them go like that in the elliptical, man, after about 15, 20 minutes, I just can't handle it really. It starts to hurt pretty good. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I pretty much have a grain-free diet. The only things like those tortillas I'm talking about, they're like 95% fiber. So there's really not even, any flour in there or anything like that. It's like mostly fiber. But I eat it in such small amounts. Like those tortillas I was talking about, I maybe have 2 of those a week. That's it. And those noodles I'm talking about, I maybe have 1 pack every 2 weeks. So it's not something that I have all the time. Mainly, I eat meat. That's what I mainly eat, is meat, eggs. Hey, a new member to the Ladies and Gentlemen's Club. Welcome, Melanie, and thank you for the support. Oh, is that what that camera thing, AI powered camera? There's no getting away from it, ladies and gentlemen. What I think will happen is when things get bad enough, those cameras are going to disappear or get banged up in one way or another. That's what people will do. I mean, if you have a question or you have something that you really want me to read because you're not conversing with someone else, yeah, put it in all caps. And I try to catch it. I try to catch it, but sometimes I don't. So don't be offended if I don't. And look at that. I got my very first winner I see there. Here's our first winner right here. Melanie White. Congratulations. You are our first winner of the 3 ounces of silver. All right. So what I need you to do is, and I'm going to repeat this every single time. Okay. I'm going to repeat it every single time. Send me an email to the email address that you see scrolling down and send it to me right now with your name, your address, right? Because if I have all of the names tonight before the live stream is over, I'm going to be shipping them out tomorrow, right? I'll make a trip out tomorrow to ship them all out, right? So that you guys can hopefully get them by like Monday, hopefully by Monday or so. So that way, if you need the money, you can just go cash them out. Right? You can just go cash them out, have your money, and have yourself a Thanksgiving dinner. So congratulations. Let me go ahead and take a print screen of your name here so I don't forget. Melanie is our first winner. Okay, there you are. All right, so now I'm just gonna scroll down. I'm gonna look over here. I'm just gonna try to land on anything, and whatever it is, I'm gonna click on it and see if it's a 3. Oh, there you go. Sunset gazing. You are the second winner. Sunset gazing. Congratulations. Good to see you here, by the way. Let's see. Sunset gazing. Look at that. We've got our 2 winners. We got 3 more to go. 3 more to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me scroll down. And I'll pick a new number for the last 3. All right. So both of you won 3 ounces of silver. Hey, that's a $150 bill. All right. I don't know if you know, but this is a $50 bill, ladies and gentlemen. Is that awesome or what? I got an email from a very long time community member. Very, very good guy. Right. Got an email from him a couple of days back. And he said, AAP, I just wanted to let you know that back in 2020, I took your word on silver and I bought a lot of it. And I just turned it in not too long ago. And I think he said, I forgot how many acres. He turned in the silver that he bought in 2020 and bought himself some acreage and is building a cabin with it. And I was like, you know what? That's what it's for. It's not for you to hoard and keep it forever. If you're in a position where you can keep it forever, that's great. Pass it down to your kids. But it's supposed to be there and supposed to be used mainly so that you are not stolen from by the power of inflation. Because inflation is not going to take any purchasing power away from this. And even though, you know, the nominal price goes up, more than likely you're still going to be able to buy in 5 years with this ounce of silver what you could buy today with it. The price doesn't really matter. It's what can you buy with it that really matters. So congratulations to both of you. Send me your information right now. Let me see. I actually have my email up. I can check and see if you're doing it. Okay. That's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, don't send me an email with the number 3 on it. All right. Someone just sent me an email with the number 3 on it. All right. Let me bring it down. What do you all say? Do you feel like doing a little window shopping? Because you know, my sponsors didn't ask me to do what I'm doing right now, by the way. They just asked me to put out a link and, you know, maybe talk about it for a quick second on one of my, you know, word on the street videos or one of my other videos. And I said, no, you know what? I'm going to do a live stream anyways. I'm going to go ahead and shout them out because I really appreciate our sponsors. I think that they're all really good. They treated our community really well. I mean, how many Opus solar generators have we given away on this channel? I mean, for those of you that have been here for a while, how many solar generators have we given away on this channel? I mean, how many people has Opus given a generator to for free because they needed one for medical reasons? You know? Yeah, remember that, Mario? $22. I remember when it was as low as $12, but the premiums were like 50%. So I remember buying silver at like $18, including the premium. So, but you know, delayed gratification is what it is, and you have to be doing it for the right reasons, right? So let me go ahead and do this real quick. Boom. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first one I want to talk to you about is Opus, and I'm going to cover this real quick. And first, I want to say thank you very much to all of you. You know why? Because I was harping on all of you to go and subscribe to the Opus giveaway. And look at this. We got more than 5,000 people subscribed, which means that it brought the price down of their new Guardian 6000 to $16.99. And for anyone that's interested in purchasing one, by the way, it debuts on the 25th of November. But for anyone that is interested, make sure that even with that price, with their sale price, you can still use my discount code and get another 5% off. Okay. But they're having early Black Friday sales. And I wanted to show you really quick, in addition to the Guardian here. What's going on here? I just want to go to the Black Friday sales. Well, let's take a look at the Guardian real quick. Anyways, I think $16.99 is a really good price for that. And the Guardian, by the way, has the function of being able to provide power at 240 volts, which a lot of people have been asking for that have water wells, right? That have a well, 240 volt and 120. And one of the nice things about this unit is that you can use both at the same time. So if you're running a 240 volt, you can also run a 120 volt at the same time. It's not one or the other. Another nice thing about it, and I'm just talking about it, I'm not really reading off the screen. I'm just talking about it while you all take a look at it. Another nice thing about this unit is that it has a 9,000 watt surge. So you can pretty much run anything off of this thing. I don't ever care about the boost mode. The surge is what I care about. And it has a continuous output of 6,000 watts, which is pretty awesome. And look at that. You can expand it all the way up to 41,000 kilowatts. And it's a really good looking unit as well. Very nice looking unit. But it has really fast charging, which I don't really care about fast charging, but it has it nonetheless. You can charge it in like an hour and a half or so, 65 minutes. I actually don't recommend that you charge your solar generator that fast. I don't think it's good for the batteries long term. But if you ever have to do it, you can do it. Okay. And what else is something about this that I really, really like? I thought there was at least one other. Oh, another thing is the app is actually a really good app for this unit. You can change the charging speeds with it. You can turn on the AC, the DC, and all that kind of stuff on and off with it through the app. And the app in this case actually works pretty well. So I remember when the Opus came out with its first app, it wasn't that great, but this app is actually really good. I actually have it. I'm actually using it on the solar generators that I have right now. So this is their Black Friday sale. And look at this. This is their pre or early Black Friday sale. So it's going on for another day and 4 hours or something like that. So let's see what they got. The Mega 2 for $7.99. I would say hold off on that. I know Opus probably doesn't want to hear me say that, but it'll probably be a little bit better than that come actual Black Friday. But there are a couple of units here that are really good deals. Let's see. That's a good price for the Mega 3. And on all of these, you can still use my 5% discount code and get an additional 5% off. I think this is the best deal right here. This right here, the Mega 5, I have to say that out of all of the big solar generator units, the Mega 5 is my favorite. I like it even better than Titan 5. You know, the Titan 5 is that one that you can take to a construction site. It's really heavy duty, but I really like the Mega 5. I think it's easy to use. It's very reliable, very reliable. And I mean, look at that, $1,500 minus 5% for 5,040 watt hours, 4,000 watt continuous output. And I believe this one has a 7,000 watt, whatchamacallit, a 7,000 watt surge for the Mega 5. And although the Guardian, I really like that 9,000 watt surge on the Guardian, 7,000 watts is really good. You know, so for that price, I think it's great. And let's see. And that is Opus, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said before, I only partner with companies that I really like, that I like their product, and I think take care of the community well. And Opus definitely has. So let's see. We're still getting threes, no more threes. Let's go ahead and give away at least another ounce or so. I mean, another 3 ounces, and then we can take a look at Simpure. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with window shopping. Slow and steady. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, listen, all of these things like solar generators, now a water filtration system, that's something that I don't consider a prep. I consider that you need to have that. Nowadays, you have to have a reverse osmosis water filtration system. because you just don't know what the heck is in your water. All you have to do is just look for it. Get on the internet and type in, USDA water test, and you should probably have 1,000 things pop up that tells you, yep, they were tested here. This was bad, and it's got the PFOASs, the forever chemicals, the microplastics. You have no idea what you're drinking unless you yourself make sure that that water is clean. Okay, so that's one thing that I don't really even consider a prep. I consider that a necessity for everyday life. Look at that. I like to hear that. I bought my first gas generator after my 2 solar generator, because, yeah, gas generator is the very first thing you want to get. I love solar generators. I love Opus. But the fact of the matter is that if you can only get one, a gas generator or a solar generator, you have to get a gas generator first. And the reason is this: you can stock up gas. You can stock it up. And you can say, okay, I got enough gas to power my necessities for a month. Good, you got it stocked up. Put a little stable in there. You know that gas is going to be good for a few years with stable in it. If the container is sealed, you know for a fact you're going to have power when you need it with that gas generator, as long as it's properly serviced, right? But with a solar generator, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have enough power, whatever you have stored. And then after that, how do you know that you're going to have sun? What if you don't have sun for a week? What if you don't have sun for 2 weeks? What if a volcano goes off and it blocks out the sun to where you're not getting enough sun to power that solar generator, right? A solar generator is a great complement to a gas generator, and vice versa. It really is, because I can power the boiler here for 3 days on the system that I've got right now. I've got the 15,000 watt hours, all right? I can power my boiler here, the boiler in this house, for 3 days. And it's because that boiler is an electricity hog. It runs 24/7. It's always running a water pump, always running that water pump. So it consumes a lot of energy, but I can power for 3 days off of my system. Now, let's say that we don't have electricity and my system is at 20%, let's say, and I know I'm going to run out of power because we don't have electricity. And let's say we don't have sun. It's the middle of winter time. What am I going to do? Okay, I go grab my little generator, my little Honda generator, which puts out about 2,000 watts an hour. And you take 14,000 watts, let's say 14,000 watt hours. You divide that by 2,000, that's 7 hours. It'll take me about 7 to 8 hours to fill up my solar generator to make it good for another 3 days. And 7 or 8 hours is about 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons of gas, which means that I'm spending about 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons of gas, roughly, okay, give or take, every 3 days to keep my heater going, and then maybe keep some lights on. So I always say, get a gas generator first, and then after that, if you can, when you can, go ahead and explore the solar generator, options that you have. So let's go ahead and let's take that off. I'm going to put another one up here. Oh no, first we have to do a giveaway. Okay, so the next giveaway number is going to be, this is going to be for another 3 ounces of silver, okay? We've already given 6 ounces of silver away. Altogether, we're going to give 15 ounces of silver away, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Alpha Omega Gold. The only reason I'm able to give away this much silver is because Alpha Omega Gold gave it to me. So that's awesome. So the next number, let's pick the number, what's a good number? The number 7. 7's the lucky number. So put up the number 7. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, okay? Let's see. Do you have ventilation taken care of? Ventilation. Oh, no. Ventilation. If I ever use my generator, my gas generator, then it's going to be outside. Yeah, I would never, ever. I know that there's a way to put a muffler on a gas generator and vent it outside from inside your house, but I won't even do that. I wouldn't even do that. If I ever have to use my generator to charge up my solar generator, it's going to be outside, and I'm going to have a power cord coming in to do it. Yep. So as far as ventilation, no, I don't need to do that. And you always have to remember to make sure that you don't have your generator near an entrance. So if you're going to do what I just said that I would do, take a generator to charge my solar generator during a power outage, I wouldn't have it near an entrance. I would put it around the back of the house where there's no vents coming in of any kind, and it would definitely not be near the door, okay? Because you don't want any of that CO2 getting in there. Okay, so the very first number 7. Let's see. So it was the first number 7 after the bottom was right here, okay, when I went all the way to the bottom. And the very first number 7 is Alaska Gwen. Alaska Gwen, don't tell me you're from Fairbanks so you can save me a few dollars in shipping. All right, congratulations, Alaska Gwen. That is awesome. So same with you, Alaska Gwen. Make sure that you send me your information. Make sure that you send me your information to this email address, and I need it right now. I need you to send it to me right now. Your name and your address. And if you do live in Fairbanks, go ahead and send me your phone number, and maybe we can just meet at Costco or something like that, and I'll just give them to you hand to hand, all right? But at a very minimum, your name and your address, all right? So congratulations. Alaska Gwen comes away with the 3 ounces. Nice. Let me see if this thing will let me do this. Man, I'll tell you what, technology is something else. Okay, here we go. I got to keep track of how many of these I've given away. I get carried away, and then I'll be like, oh my goodness, where am I going to get all that silver? Okay, so what do we got? All right, I'll tell you what, the next time that we do one, whatever number I pick, it'll be that number that I look for, okay? That's Sparky's Run. How you doing? Good to see you. It'll be that number. That way it's not always just the fastest person, all right? Is that disabled and prepping? Hey, disabled and prepping, how you doing? Prudence, how are you doing? Linda Greenwell, how are you? Wow, this is a marathon live stream for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not used to going that much over an hour. Hey, Brent, I really like how you are purposefully putting down the wrong number. You're a good man, Brent. You're a good man, brother. That's funny. You didn't think I noticed that, huh, Brent? All right. Okay, so now I have to show off Simpure, ladies and gentlemen, because and the last one that I'm going to show off is only 3 that I'm talking about today, 3 of my sponsors. But the last one is actually something that's really neat that I just got. I haven't been able to mess with it or not. Oh, I'm sure I'll let you all know if Melanie, I'll let you all know if I got your email here before we're done. Okay, I'll let you all know to make sure that I actually did get it, because I really want to get it today so that I can mail it out tomorrow. Okay, so let's see, share screen, boom. And now we're going to go to this one right here. So I'm not going to go ahead and put you through everything that Simpure's got, but I just wanted to show you this awesome. They just sent me this awesome countertop RO system. Where is it? Yeah, they just sent me this awesome countertop RO system. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because they're all a little bit different, okay? This one I really like because this one allows you to pick the number of ounces that you wanted to dispense. All right, so this one is really cool. Another thing that I really like about this one, I wish I could make this a little bit bigger. Let me see if I can just bring this up. Hopefully that's a little bit bigger for you guys. I can't see you all, but hopefully it is. Let me see. Another thing that I really like about this one is the pitcher is made out of glass. It's not made out of plastic. So this is a glass pitcher, all right? And another thing, I'm trying to tell you the things that are different between this one and the other ones that I received. Another thing is that if you see this right here, you see that little plastic top that it has. That's really a mineral filter. It's a carbon and mineral filter in one. So with this unit right here, you have the option of having pure RO water with no minerals in it at all, where it takes everything out. But if you insert that little mineral filter on the top of the pitcher, it adds minerals to your water. So you can have either or whenever you want it, or you can just leave it on one setting if you want it, and that's it. But this one here, like I said, it allows you to choose the number of ounces. It's got that mineral filter, and it has the glass pitcher, and the reservoir in the back gives you enough water to fill 2 pitchers up with water before you have to change it out. And it has very little water loss. So as far as the quality of the RO system itself, it's just like any other RO system, really. It gives you clean water. It takes out all the poisons, right? But this one gives you the option of putting minerals in it, choosing how many ounces to dispense at one time, which is nice because you can just push the button and walk away. And it also has that glass pitcher, which I really like the glass pitcher. And I left the link for these on the top of the description of the video. So all of the links are there for everyone that I'm talking about today. And this one right here, if you go on here, it says $100 off. But if you go on their site, it's $110 off, which is a really good deal. And they still have all of the other specials that are early Black Friday specials, right? So if you're looking for something else that's not on a super sale, like this is the one right here I just showed you, very nice. So if you're looking for something else that's not on a super sale, which is what I like to call, then you can always use my code for SAVE21. SAVE21 gives you 21% off whatever you get here. Right. This is actually a really nice one. This is the last one that they sent me to check out. And I checked it out. I really like this one also. I have to say that I like the first one I showed you better than this one. But this one has its differences. This one right here is a short model. So if you have cabinets that are less than 18 inches from the countertop, this will fit under it because this one's only about 14 inches high. All right. And it's very efficient and it's really nice. You know, it's really nice to put in a nice little corner somewhere. And like I said, the RO function on it is just like any other RO function. But you know what? I would rather get the first one I showed you than this one because of the mineral attachment that you can get minerals from, and also because of the glass pitcher. So it's actually less expensive than this one. And I like that one better. And here's my favorite under-the-counter reverse osmosis system, the Q3. And by the way, all Q3 systems that Simpure gave away to our community members have been shipped out, right? All 7 of them, right? They've all been shipped out. All the winners are good to go. I'm getting 2 of them to hand them out here to some people in Fairbanks. But even though this isn't on a super sale like it was during our event, it's $179. You can't beat that for an RO system. I mean, an RO system, in my opinion, is just invaluable. You have to have an RO system in your home or a way to make sure that your water is clean. Let me see real quick. I've gotten one. I've only gotten 2 emails, and yes, Melanie, you're one of them. Yeah. So I'm hoping that, who was it? Alaska Gwen. I'm hoping that you send me an email with your information because I don't think I have yours. Let me see if this is you. Oh, this is Alaska Gwen. I got you, Alaska Gwen. Oh yeah, okay, Alaska Gwen. I'll be mailing it to you though. I don't think I'll be able to make it down there. I don't think I'm gonna do that 6-hour drive or whatever it is to bring you the 3 ounces. So I'll be mailing it to you. Okay, that's one. That's awesome. Who else? Let's see. Boom. Melanie, I got yours. I got yours, Melanie. Okay, so I'm still waiting on one. If I don't get an email by Sunday, at least, it will be forfeited. All right, it will be forfeited. So let's see. We still have 2 more giveaways, 2 3-ounce giveaways to do. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you something. If you want to get an RO system and you just don't want to buy a Simpure, or any ones that I recommend. I don't care, but get one. Get an RO system. That should be priority on your list. Actually, if you win 3 ounces of silver and you don't have an RO system and you've already got your turkey dinner for Thanksgiving taken care of, use that money, go cash it in and get yourself an RO system. Because when I say that everyone needs one, I'm not just saying that so that you can click on my link. I'm saying that because that is a fact. That is a matter of fact. Everyone in America needs an RO system. And I would say anyone, anywhere. Because just take a look at the water that comes out of your sink. I know that the water that comes out of my sink here from the local utility, I can smell the chlorine in it just standing there. Right? I don't want to drink that. I know that they're doing a job they're supposed to do to make the water potable, and I know that if I drink it right out of the tap, it's not going to kill me. But how many PFOSs are in there, right? Like I said, just go check out the USDA site and do your research on water. Brent says, just a fun side story. I bought 10-ounce silver bars for my girls. Enough forecast girls. Enough for their teeth. When they lose a tooth, the tooth fairy leaves. Man, I'll tell you what, Brent. I wish that you were my dad when I was growing up. Just kidding, but just playing. Because if you were to give me a 10-ounce silver bar for every tooth I lost, goodness gracious, I think I'd knock out my permanent ones once they came in. Oh, a zero water pitcher, those things are good too. That's like RO water. I mean, zero water, those pitchers with the filters they come with, those are outstanding filters. I was so surprised because I reviewed one of those a long time ago, and I was so surprised at how clean that water came out. It came out like 0 ppm. But the only bad part is that the filters have to be changed frequently, depending on how dirty your water is. But still, if you don't have room for an RO system, or you just don't want to get something that needs electricity, because most RO systems need electricity or pressure, one or the other, right? And you have a zero water pitcher, those things are awesome. I think they do a great job. I think they're a great product. Let's see. Sherry says, can an old lady hook it up? Those countertop RO systems, Sherry, they're plug and play. You don't have to do any plumbing or anything like that. They're plug and play. They have a reservoir that you put water in, and once you put water in the reservoir and you unpack it, obviously, all you have to do is flush it out. And to flush it out is literally pushing a button. That's it. It's literally that easy. Okay, I'm not understating the setup so that you can think no, it is. It's super easy. It's literally filling up the reservoir and plugging it in and letting the system flush itself out 2 or 3 times, and then you're good to go. That's how easy it is. And changing the filters is very easy. It's just turning it, taking it off, putting the new one on, and that's it. I'm actually going to be doing a video here soon to show you all what I'm doing in order to extend the life of my RO filters. Because I came up with a very cheap way to extend the life of my RO filters. Not that those filters are that expensive, but still, if you can get an extra 6 months to a year from them with the little scheme that I came up with, then why not? Oh, that's awesome. From Alpha Omega. And isn't he a good guy? What is it? Double dingus. And he's a really good guy too. So like, I'm not up talking him. David is a really good guy, and I think he's got a really good company, and he takes care of people. So it's a good thing. It's a good guy. Yeah, to remineralize water is very easy. Add a little bit of salt, or like 63S Space Girl here said, add some lemon juice. But really, the way I see it is that if you're eating a regular diet, not like me, I don't, like I said, I eat mainly meat. So whenever I'm drinking something, like this is water with electrolyte in it. This is my RO water with electrolyte in it. So if you're eating a regular diet, and you have salt and stuff in your diet, then you already have electrolytes. It's not going to kill you to have RO water without any minerals in it. In my opinion, I'm not a doctor, but you already have enough electrolytes, so you're not going to hurt yourself. I did once because I wasn't eating any salt. I was only eating meat and drinking RO water. I was dehydrating myself by drinking water because I had no electrolytes. But I finally figured it out, right? But if you eat a regular diet, I don't think you really even need to put anything in your RO water. But if you're concerned about it, just get one of the ones that has the mineral cartridge, and that's that. Easy as that. Or do like Space Girl said, put a little bit of lemon in it, or put a little bit of electrolyte powder in it, or just get the ones with the mineral pack. It's too easy. Okay, let's see. Yes, you need an RO system no matter what. Look, if I had a well and I took my well water and I had it tested, and the person that tested it, if they told me this is the best water in the world, I've never seen water like this before, it's so good, I would still have an RO system. Let me tell you why. Because how often do you test your well? Do you test your well every single day? Do you test it every week? Do you test it every month? Do you test it every year? So what happens if something contaminates your well water in between tests? That's the thing, all right? Is you can only be confident that you're drinking clean water if you yourself can take a ppm stick, a TDS stick, a pen, and put it in there, and it says, okay, it's only 5 or 6 or 10. 10 ppms, you're good. But when you're talking about 200 ppm, which is what the USDA says is okay for you to drink, because my sink water smells like chlorine, and it's not clear all the way through when you look at it, and it's less than 200 ppm. I'm not drinking that. So it doesn't matter to me how clean someone tells you your water is, whether you have well water, spring water, whether you have water that comes out of a tap from a utility that says they're the best in the world. I don't care. I'm going to make sure that the water I'm drinking is clean. All right? Oh, my grandson is trying to sneak in, but I locked the door. Lulu, stop it. Lulu, come here. Calm down. Jeez. She barks at everything. Lulu, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Calm down. All right, go on. Get under the desk there. Sit down. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and talk about Lulu. This girl. I think she's crazy. All right. This is the last one, ladies and gentlemen, I promise. And then we'll give away the last 2 winners for the silver. But I really want to show you this because this Bogart V, Lulu, sit. What? Gosh, she sees him every single day. She sees him every day. She hears my son walking upstairs every day. Stop. And she still acts like somebody's trying to break into the house. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about Bogart because they have a lot of cool stuff. And I've actually been affiliated with them. Stop it. Come here. Sit. It's all right. Come here. Come up here. Come on. No, come here. No, come here. Come up here. There you go. All right, just stay there. Okay, you're good. You're fine. I've been affiliated with Bogart Beef for a really long time. They have a lot of cool stuff. And obviously they have a pre-Black Friday and Black Friday sale. Look, it's going on between now and the 30th of November, right? So it's going on for probably about another 11 days or so. But I wanted to show you about 3 things that are stuff, things that I have. Okay, this right here. I have one of these. And when I was living in the dry cabin, I ended up using this right here to hook up to the sink, which didn't have any plumbing. But I ended up hooking this up to the sink to a faucet that I went and bought, and then putting a 5-gallon bucket under it for the drain, and then getting another 5-gallon bucket as my reservoir with clean water. And I ended up hooking this up to the actual sink, and all I had to do is turn it on, and it gave me hot water coming out of that sink. So I was able to like do dishes and everything, just like on a regular sink. So this little thing is awesome. It works great, and it doesn't use a lot of propane. This thing works on propane. It's advertised as a shower, but like I said, oh, what happened here? Oh, but it's advertised as like a shower head here, but you can do anything with it. You can hook it up to plumbing like I did. So this thing, and for that price, I actually think that's a great price right there. But it works great. It uses very little propane. It's very efficient, and it's portable. So you can take this thing anywhere and have hot water, and you don't need any water pressure because it comes with a built-in water pump. So I wanted to show you that because that is an awesome little product that I used every single day for about 6 months straight, and it never failed. That's one of the things from Bogue RV that I have that I really, really like. Let me see what else I have here. Oh, I have this right here. I have their cooler. This cooler is really nice. It's a 2-zone cooler. You can either have each zone the same temperature, so you can make it into a refrigerator with each zone, or you can have one zone where it's a refrigerator and one zone where it's a freezer. Now, the one that I have that I've tested and tried out, it didn't come with an app. It looks like this one does, but the one that I had without an app, it worked just fine. And I'm not sure if these come with the battery or if the battery is optional or not, but it's got a battery that you can put in them that lasts probably around 10 hours or so. So it's very nice. This is the battery that I have with the one that I have right here. This right here, this is here, I have it right here. This is a little solar generator. It's a 240 watt hour solar generator right here. And this thing is very handy. You know, you can take it anywhere with you, anywhere that you need a 12-volt connection. And it also has AC. I think it's 150 watt AC power. So it's very nice because it's not bulky, it's not heavy. If you just need something small for a computer or something, definitely. And I think that 150 bucks for this is really a good price for this. I use this thing all the time. Like whenever I need to use lighting, if I'm doing a video and I need lighting, I just take this with me instead of an extension cord. And I wanted to show you this right here. I received one of these and I have not reviewed it yet because I haven't had time. And I'm not really going to review it, okay? I'm not really going to review this one right here. Why isn't this thing showing up? Just a second. Okay, so yeah, so this little heater right here, I've received a couple of these and I haven't reviewed it yet, but I'm going to soon. All right, because this looks really nice. It's pretty nice to have as a backup in case you get stuck in your car or something. And I do believe that it's going to be able to heat my apartment if I ever needed to, and even a house because it's continuous. So anyways, I wanted to show you that from Bogue RV, and I have links for them in the description of this video, and they're giving some nice coupons as well. All right, so there's some coupon codes there and everything. But anyways, this is the one that I told you. This little thing is awesome. 240 watt hours. It puts out about 150 watts with an inverter, and then you have like 3 USBs, 2 USB-Cs and 1 USB-A with it. And this thing works great. Got a little handle that goes with it. I really like this. I use this thing all the time. I love that she protected me from the leaves. Every time that she hears a little bit of movement, she starts barking, even though she knows that it's my son and my daughter-in-law and my grandson, because she sees them every single day, every day. And I tell her, I'm like, Lulu, it's just Victor, or Lulu, it's just Michael, you know. So but hey, let's go ahead and do the let's do the last two giveaways, and then we'll call it good, because oh my goodness, 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe you're not sick of me yet. You're still here, but I really appreciate all of you that are still here. Awesome. Hey, so let's go ahead and do the for the last two giveaways. Let's go ahead and do the number 17, right? The number 17 for the last two giveaways. You won, Brent. I should have said triple zeros since I saw you put that up, Brent. The number 17. So go ahead and enter. I mean, I'll wait a few, and let me see if I can come up. Okay. Brent was the first one. Okay. Let me see. Winter Soldier is the first one before the first number 17. So sorry, Tammy, but I'm going to count 17 down, okay? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, you didn't enter, Boone. You didn't enter. There you go. There's our fourth winner. Art and Soul. Art and Soul. You are one of the winners. 3 ounces of silver. Man, that is awesome. 3 ounces of silver. Okay. So again, take a look at the email address that's scrolling through. Send me your information and your name and your address, and I'll go and ship it out tomorrow. Okay, so congratulations. Let me go ahead and take a print screen of your name. That way I don't forget you. Man, I don't know why this thing does that. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it won't do it now. Okay, sweet. Art and Soul. Congratulations. All right, so we got to do another one. So I'm going to go another 17 from Art and Soul. Let's see. Hopefully I can count it. 1. Okay, here's the first 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alaska Gwen, you entered again. 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, here's our last winner of the day. Let's see. Is last, I guess. At is last. Congratulations. All right, send me your information ASAP. I need it right now. Okay, I'm going to look at my email before we leave so I can let you all know if I've got your information or not. All right, so congratulations. 3 ounces of silver is going to you as well. Let me go ahead and grab your spot real quick. Is last 7025. Congratulations once again. All right, let me see. Let me check my emails real quick. I don't understand this. Deborah, you sent me an email. I don't understand what this email is about. You got print screens. Okay. The only thing I'm thinking is that you're asking me about ventilation, and I had already answered that. Okay, let's see. Okay, Sunset, aka ladies and gentlemen, you do understand that the email is not to enter to win. Okay, it's if you won, you have to send me it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and figure this out later. As far as this goes, okay. Let me see. Okay. Let me get on here so we can close this out. All right. So yeah, we're gonna have to call it good. Let me go ahead and close this out. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead for our outro. I'm gonna go ahead for those of you that maybe missed the first 6-7 minutes of this live stream. I'm gonna put it here towards the end. All right, because it's a great 6-7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, very happy about the food bank this year. So I'm going to put that out as our outro so you can view it if you didn't view it when you first got here, okay? Because I know a lot of people missed the first few minutes of a live stream because they're still used to me saying hello for the first 45 minutes. You all remember that? So, hey, listen, thank you very much for joining in tonight. I had a great time. We're at a little over 2 hours, and I had a great time. So I hope that you had a decent time as well. All right, I want to thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your support. Make sure that you catch my Word on the Street videos. I'll be putting one out tomorrow, and I usually put one out every Monday through Friday. So I'll be putting one out tomorrow and one out on Friday. And maybe every now and then I'll put 2 videos out in one day because there's something else that I wasn't able to fit into the Word on the Street. But I truly do appreciate you supporting me by watching my videos. You don't know how much that means to me and how much that actually supports me. So thank you very much for all of your support. I want to thank you all for being here. And God bless every one of you. And I love you all. I truly do. All right. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper, and here's your outro for the day. All right. God bless you. Alaska Prepper here. Don't mind me if I take my face off the camera because I'm driving right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a live stream, and I am going to come on live here after a few minutes, but I had to pre-record this portion because I wasn't sure how well, or I'm not sure how well I'll handle it during the live. So I have to tell you a story. So earlier this year, probably sometime around May, I think it was around May or so, April, May, Mrs. Ann from the food bank gave me a call just to check up on me and see how I was doing. And I had a short conversation with her. I told her what was going on, that I'm no longer in my old house. And anyway, I told her that I was really sorry because I didn't think that I was going to be able to support the food bank this year. And usually around late May, early June, I would do what's called the bone builder bags, which I didn't do this year because I couldn't. And the bone builder bags are bags of protein-rich foods that they hand out to children that were used to getting most of their nutrition during the school day, you know, via their breakfasts that they get there, usually for free if they need to, and their lunch. So I wasn't able to do that this year, and that really bothered me a lot. And anyways, going forward here about, let me just a second. My seat gets really hot. So here about, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago, maybe something like that. I got an email from a very nice lady, and she asked me, she was like, "Hey, Pete, are you going to do a turkey drive this year for the food bank?" And I replied, and I said, "No, I'm not going to be able to, not on a personal basis." And, you know, in all honesty, you know, who am I to be asking anyone to try to support my community food bank here in Fairbanks, Alaska, when so many people are going through tough times? So I said, you know, no, I'm not going to do it this year. I can't. And however, if the Lord wills it, then he will. He'll allow me to find a way if he wills it. So after that conversation, you know, I didn't think anything of it. And then before I continue, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that whenever I pick a partner for this channel, a sponsor, I try to be very picky. I get dozens of emails every day, even after being off of YouTube for such a long time. I get dozens of emails every day with, you know, companies of this and that wanting to showcase their products and pay me to do ads and stuff like that. And it's very rarely that I actually choose one, because it has to be one that I really, really believe in and one that I really like their product. So anyways, maybe 2 or 3 days after I had that conversation or that email exchange, I get this email from Alpha Omega Gold, from their owner, CEO. And I'm actually pulling into the laundromat right here real quick. I got to pick up some laundry, but I'll stop, and then it'll be easier for me to talk to you all. So I get an email from the owner, CEO at Alpha Omega Gold. And first thing I thought was like, I don't really want to take on any more partners or any sponsorships. I just want to get back on YouTube and just, find a little bit of peace with the fellowship that we have together. Within our community, of course. But then, before I deleted that email, I thought, let me just read it. Let me look these guys up. So I looked them up. I looked them up on the Better Business Bureau, and they have a very good rating. They're not a very old company, but then I also went on their page and I noticed that they advertise that they are a faith-based business. And I'm like, let me give this gentleman a call. So I gave him a call, and we ended up talking for 45 minutes, maybe an hour, just talking about life, just talking about everything. And I say, you know what, I feel really good about, taking you on as one of the channel sponsors. I said, but the thing is that, I want to make sure that my channel sponsor, that they take care of our community well, which they have been, by the way. I already got an email from someone saying that they're already talking to them and they're treating them very well. So I even texted him and I said, thank you very much for taking care of my community member that went to, that called you and is doing business with you. So that's great. So, it came down to the part where I'm like, yeah, I want to take you on as a sponsor. And he said, well, how do we talk about payment? I'm like, you know what? I'm not really a big money guy when it comes to this. I just want to make sure that my community is taken care of. And he said, well, give me a call on Monday and we'll talk about it. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. And I'm sitting there this morning. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I'm sitting there on my couch in the morning. And I'm thinking about the food bank. And I'm like, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for Alpha Omega Gold to, instead of paying me, to make a generous donation to the Fairbanks Food Bank. And in addition to that, to send me some physical silver so that I can give to my community members, which I am going to do some of that today here on this live stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and grab this. So as soon as I pick up my laundry here in front of the laundromat, I'm going to head over to the food bank and I'm going to present Mrs. Ann with a cashier's check for $4,800. Why am I talking about this? AP, charity should be kept to yourselves. No, because ladies and gentlemen, I have to talk about this. Because without you supporting what I do, watching my terrible videos, this wouldn't be possible. So I want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching my videos, for supporting me in any way that you can. Because when good people do good things happen.